They'll be next to their feet. Oh, well, maybe that's one reason why. What the heck has happened here? Howdy, folks, and welcome back to a wet and rainy ARK Adventures. Boy, what a mess. We've got dinos all over the place, and I think in this episode we really need to make an effort to organize them. Now that we've cleared out this entire little cove here as our dino staging area, or holding pen, if you will, or dino pen. It's like a natural dino pen. It's really awesome. We need to start moving around our... set up a place for animals we want currently to get eggs from, a little breeding area, and move our oviraptors over there. Have a mated pair of oviraptors. I don't know if that boosts the effectiveness. It really should, I think, but, you know, who knows. We got to move our big behemoths somewhere. We got to set up our troughs where we want them, and we have to put those columns down with the artifacts. So let's actually take a look at the columns with the artifacts. What we need to do that, if you recall from earlier in the season when we did it, it's not going to be here. I thought I had some pre-made columns. I don't think I do, but I will check. Maybe I do. I don't see any columns. Okay, so we're going to make 6 columns. That's how we're going to do this, right? It should be maybe enough stone. I don't know. Columns don't take too much stone. A little bit of wood. Oops, I need the thatch as well. I always forget to go into the folder and get the thatch out. And let's do, it's pillars, right? Stone pillars. Yep. 4, 5, 6. Let's get 6 of those crafting up. And we also need to craft the trophy stands, trophy pedestals, whatever they are. So let's see if we've got that unlocked. We do. Trophy base. And I believe it's made at the smithy, right? Is that correct? Trophy base, it is. And we just need 80 obsidian per. We need 6 of those. Fortunately, we do have a bunch of obsidian. In fact, I think some of it... Did we put some of it in here? Or we put some excess obsidian somewhere? Yeah, in here. In fact, we've got enough to make them all right here. So let's go ahead and do that real fast. Is it base? Trophy base? It is. And we can make 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll make 6 of those. Our pillars are done. Let's put our excess materials away. Got to dump that Rex egg off here eventually as well. Didn't need anywhere near this amount of wood, stone, or thatch for our 6 pillars. Let's go ahead and dump off our Rex egg. And let's get our bases. Here's the 6th one now. And we'll get our 6 artifacts. Can we carry all of this? That's 24. The pillars are 24. No problem. The artifacts... Is this where... This is... I have 6 artifacts here, but those aren't the ones that I had on display. Where did I put those? I put them over here, didn't I? That's right. There they are. Okay. There's our 6 artifacts. So, what we need to do is kind of get an aerial view here. Figure out where we're going to do this. And this is a great place to get an aerial view. I say we start... about where Tuxedo, the penguins are. We do the first one, then we do a second one up there, and then a third one towards the back. And then start over here, maybe where Smelly is. And then move up that side as well with pillars. So let's kind of throw one here and see if this is going to do the trick. So we've thrown those in 0. Let's throw these in 5. Let's go ahead and get a cave view and go way out just so we can get a perspective on what we're doing here. This is going to be kind of the anchor for our pen, so that we'll build everything else off of these locations, I guess, if you will. We're not going to attach anything to it, but I mean, we're kind of using them as kind of a guideposts, if you will, since they're posts. Get it? Haha. No. Is that fairly... It doesn't really go straight back. That's more straight back. If not even that. So I'd like to come... I don't want to go too far back with the pillars because there are some bushes back there. I don't want to destroy those spawns. So let's actually go a little bit like this. Let's just do it. Let's put one here. Bring up another one. Should we? Oh, you know what? if we use that as a starting point, we can, it's going to be costly, but what we can do is we can take some wood pillars, which are a little cheaper to make. Let's get some fiber. And kind of use the wood pillars as a way to make sure that we've lined these guys up without having to eyeball it. It's only 7, but you'll get the idea here when I do it, and then I'll do all of that work and come back and show you when we're done. But let's take these wood pillars that are being constructed. Let's throw those in 5 for now. And you saw as I was trying to place the second stone pillar that at first it snapped, and then it was free floating. So I guess what we really want to do is we want to go to the extreme of snapping here. Snap there. We can demolish this one now. We're going to kind of hopscotch, you know, like that. Then demolish this one, and I'm going to repeat this process. So that was 1, 2, 3, and maybe on the 4th one, would that be about right? And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So the next one I think will be, or should it be that one? The spacing of these pillars for the artifacts is what I'm thinking about now. I really want to leave what's in the back there intact, so yeah, let's put it right here. Let's do it right here. Okay, that destroyed the wooden one. Did I go too low on that? No, that seemed to be where it wanted to place it, so that's where it's going to play. Oh, it's keeping it level with that one. Right. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that process. I'm going to go back here, and on the 4th placement, I'm going to put a stone. Then I'm going to go this direction and get the next one lined up over here and go forward with it and get the 3 place. And I'll be back as soon as that's done. Okay, we're back, and these 6 pillars are in place. I think the alignment's pretty good. Pretty good. So there's 2 there, and 2 along here, and 2 along here. I demolished a couple of pillars I had randomly placed back here to prevent spawns. That means we might get some wild spawns of stegos or even brontos back here, but, you know, with no structure nearby, I'm kind of willing to risk it now. And if it happens, well, I'll just kill them real quick with London or something. That's not a problem. I moved some of the dinos out of here so we can see better what's going on before I decide where they're going to be placed. I'm going to probably move them all out. With the exception of the brontos, I think they're going to stay right where they are. And the guys in the small house, of course, the small dino house, they'll stay there. I'll move the penguins back probably as well, because next time I hatch eggs, I'm going to make air conditioners, so I don't really need them. All right, now, to do the trick that we talked about earlier in the season for these pedestals, these bases, these trophy bases. If you notice when you, oh my goodness, please work. Oh, there we go. Whew. They do work. Okay. If you bring them up, there we go, and you look down on them in K mode, you can spin them and align them pretty well so they only stick out just a tiny bit at the top of each pillar. I'm trying to spin just a little bit, get a good alignment here. A little bit like that. That looks pretty good right there. So just click it, and if you look, you get a really cool kind of effect. You don't see most of the base, you just see the kind of the border around it, the frame around it. So it looks really cool, but you can still put an artifact in there. So let's start with our greenish, the most green artifacts. We'll start with that one. Oh, I put it in the inventory, but I didn't put it in the trophy display. I'm like, hello, where'd it go? There it is. Look at that. It's starting to get night too, so this is going to be really cool. So we're going to repeat that process on the rest of these guys. Let's do one more for you guys to see. Hit 0, bring up K mode. Make sure you're scrolled out. When you walk up to the pillar, it's going to pop it to the top. Actually, let's push forward a little bit more in the K mode. There we go. And spin it to get the right alignment. So a piece of the border is sticking through on all sides. I think we need to spin just a little bit more. And a little bit more. And maybe a little bit more. There we go. And now we can kind of walk it. And let's go ahead and just place that and see what it does. Oh, a tiny bit didn't stick through. It's okay. It kind of adds to the artistic flavor, you know? So we'll put this one in here. And there we go. Oh, look at this. It's got the same effect, that little glow of color around them. And if we turn on the bloom quality and the light shafts, although I don't know the light shafts matter, you get a real bloomy effect, which is really nice. So I'm going to set up the other pillars with these guys, and I'll see you in a bit. Well, the fog has rolled in. I did set up the feeding troughs in these locations, and I've run into a problem already. One, once I demolished the old feeding troughs, the Brontos were not in range, and that means the Mammoth and Doty up there are not in range either. That's fine with the Mammoth and Doty. I don't mind bringing them down here and just ferrying them up when I need them. That's fine with me, actually. I'm good with that. The Brontos, I basically turned around and walked a little bit this direction, and they're both in range, so everything's cool there. I'm fine with that as well. What I'm not fine with is that not all the small dinos are in range. I think we're in range on about to here. So we get one Raptor and one Compy. I have two options. I can either put yet another feeding trough underneath here, which I don't want to do. Or I can move these pillars out more, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to move them out to about where Exxon is, which if you look at it, is more than the width of the small dino facility, so these new troughs over here should fit just fine. And what I'm going to do after I move that, and I'll move that off camera, I don't want to bore you guys with that. It'll be expensive to make those posts again, those displays again, but oh well, no big deal. After I do that, I'm going to put in right along here, I think, this is the perfect place for it, some breeding ramps, or not breeding ramps, why do I keep saying that? Egg-laying ramps. I said that because I'm also thinking about putting a breeding facility underneath here with its own generator and some air conditioners that I'll turn on whenever I want to breed something or hatch an egg. But I think we'll put some ramps here. You'll see when we start doing it what I'm talking about. But basically some ceilings coming out, ramps coming down, position the dinos that I want to get eggs from so that their eggs fall down the ramps. And I might even do a double-decker. I might even go one level above, put another set of ceilings and ramps and have them fall down to the ground from up there. We'll see how it goes. And then I'll position the Oviraptors, one on each side probably. So let me go off camera and move these pillars and these feeding troughs, these two feeding troughs, and see if I can get everybody in range and also get those dinos down from up top that don't belong there anymore and figure out what I'm going to do with Exxon. All right, I'll be back. All right, we're back, and we've gone ahead and realigned, and now all of these small dinos are in range. And what I want to do is I want to set up a place where we can easily catch eggs from dinos where it's difficult to get them. The birds, not that hard, but the Dimetrodons, is that what they're called? The finbacks, very hard to get their eggs. Now, they cannot be saddled, so I need to set this up in a situation where I can kind of guide them up a ramp, basically, because I can't saddle them. So what I'm thinking of doing is this. I've got it on 0. I've got this guy, and I think I have enough to come out this way, and then I need to put one pillar down. Can I come out 4 here? Let me think. Is 4 going to be sufficient, or is 4 going to be too much is what I'm really getting at, I guess, or is 3 going to be fine? Okay, that's there. And then, is 4 too much? 4 doesn't look like it's too much. And then we need to put ramps down. Now, the question is, can I put a ramp down without a pillar there? Boy, I can. Nice. I wondered if it might say there was no foundation support there because it was too far out from the closest pillar. So what I'm thinking is this, and station them kind of at a slope so that the eggs roll down. And I'm thinking also not just one of these, but 3 sets of these. So the next one would be here, and then the last one would be here. And I made enough materials for this, so let's see if we can do this. Let's see if this works. So that's 2, and then 0, and 0. And while we're doing that, let's just set the rest of them down while we're in a groove before we do the ramps. 2, 0, and 0. All right, now let's set our ramps down. It's going to be interesting getting the dinos in here if they're big enough, isn't it? I may have to just settle with 2 of them. Let's see how it goes. Okay. If they're small enough dinos, I can do this. But if they're big enough, I'm gonna have a hard time getting them in these last 2 because they're so. I mean, they have to fit right underneath here, basically, to get up these ramps or underneath this area. So that could be tricky. Go do that, and that one, and that one. All right, now let's start with the scorpions. They're dinos that, actually, I don't really need their eggs. I don't really care about them, frankly. The terror birds. Let's start with them. I have 2 females and 2 males. I'm going to leave this one back here for the Dimetrodons. Let's see if I can get them up this way. Can they make it? They sure can. Let me go to the inside one where it'll be easier to place them. Okay, is that good? That's pretty good. If she drops an egg, it's going to roll down that ramp. Place the other female. Oh yeah, I can do that. Oh, that's interesting too. Yeah, I just realized that. I could just walk them up, even big ones. I could just walk up and then they plop down to the next one, don't they? Yeah, so this will work. There's no problem here. Another one. And then what I'm thinking is the males should be close, right? They don't have to be up on the ramp, though. They don't lay eggs. What we should do, if I can navigate through all these dinos, is set the males underneath. Why not? They'll still be in range. They'll be next to their feet. Oh, well, maybe that's one reason why. What the heck has happened here? Oh, no. Oh, no. Can I get on her? No, because I'm not really up here. There's no ride option. Help. Oh, great. Wonderful. Can I go prone? No. Can I crouch? No. Can I jump? I can jump like crazy, but nothing's happening. Well, I have to do it. There's no. I mean, there are admin commands to get me out of here, but I screwed up, so I'm not going to do that. And of course, I knew I would lose the rest of these ramps and ceilings. I will reconstruct this, and this time I will not place the males underneath. I think I'll just place them right on the outside. How's that? And I'll be back. All right, I rebuilt, repaired the damage. I've got the terror birds lined up there. I've got the 2 males down here on the end. I've got the male Gallimimus, I believe they are, over here to signify that I want to get a couple females over there for some eggs. I moved the female Oviraptor over here next to the male. They have a mate boost going on right now. I'll bring the HUD back on so you can see all the green. Morty's over here, the male Dimetrodon, and the 2 females are here. They're kind of sinking into the foundation a little bit, the ramp a little bit, so I'm worried what's going to happen with their eggs, how they're going to fall. Are they going to fall onto the ramp? Are they going to fall through the ramp to the ground? Either way is fine, as long as it's not stuck underneath their bodies and I can't see it. That's the important thing, and I think we're fine here with these guys. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Next thing I need to do is figure out where all the other dinos are going to go. I think I know where the Brontos are going to stay. So, the Oviraptors, and obviously the ones that I want eggs from, and the small dinos. So now I got to move the penguins back into the small dino cage and figure out places to station the rest of them. I think I want utility animals, ones I'm going to be taking out a lot, towards the front, so I can take them out and pick them up with the Quetzes. And then the ones I don't use that much, towards the back, things like Hopper and the Carnos, things I don't use a lot back here, probably even the T-Rexes and the Spinos for that matter, towards the back. So we'll see. I'll go do that while I wait for daylight. Okay, hello, Mr. Brunto. Okay, I've assigned the animals a starting point. I've just left Smelly here because I don't really know what I'm going to do with Smelly, and Dump Truck here because I don't really know what I'm going to do with Dump Truck. But we know that the small dinos are in there. We know that the ones I want eggs from right now are here. Up front, we have our Dodie. We have Exxon, our dung beetle. I don't have an enclosure for him yet. I'm going to have to make one somewhere where we can roam. We've got our 2 Ankies, ready to go out and harvest the metal that's around here. In fact, we've got a couple more metal nodes that have reappeared up there now that we've gotten rid of the bridge. We have our mammoths. We have our female, the Titanic. I'll bring the nameplates back up. Titanic that we tamed early on was a near perfect tame. It was a 120 tamed with prime meat. And she has been wonderful for us up top. I brought her down here now. She's our wood getter. She can get so much wood. I mean, look at those stats. I mean, really good melee damage, but 1,740. I mean, I get more wood than I can fit on our Quetzal Fortunate one. Our basically our weight transport Quetzal. So, just incredible. Colossus is the mate now, and Colossus is got really good. I was focusing more on melee damage and less on weight, so I wanted Colossus to be more of a fighter. But now I'm bringing the weight up as well. Over here in this corner, we've got our Megalothatcheros, our thatch getter, and I don't have a mate because the females are just kind of useless. And here we go, our Giganto, right? Silverback. I do want to get a mate for Silverback. The trouble is, I want to get a high-level mate, and for that I need Titan Boa eggs, and they're hard to get. I only have one. All right, we've got Kermit, and I should get a mate for Kermit eventually. They don't have mating yet for, breeding for the frogs, but still, it'd be nice to have a mate. So these guys are kind of utility. They go out every once in a while and do stuff. I'll let Silverback roam and get some fiber, for instance, and the utility ones tend to be towards the front. Now here's our meat getters and our attackers, London and Paris, and the other 4 wolves are up at the Eagle's Nest still, and I might bring them back at some point, because I don't go up there that much. I just go up there for middle and stuff, and the reason they were there was to fight the broodmother, which they already did successfully. So our cats are behind them, our Carno's back here. All the animals I've checked are within range of at least 1 feeding trough, and I'm putting both meat and veg into feeding troughs. We have our Spinos, Fitz and Simmons. Don't take them out very much, so I kind of left them back here. I do want to check Simmons for eggs from time to time. I should have probably put her in the front, but oh well. But we've got our Brontos, Greg and Andrea, and they're fine. And Andrea drops eggs every once in a while. Don't really need them. I'm going to come back to Jimmy in a second. You've got to see how incredibly fast he is now. Spike is back here. He's our first and our last trike. We got rid of the other trikes. Didn't need the trike eggs anymore. But I just couldn't get rid of Spike, so he's still here. I don't use him, though. This is Theo. And this is Theo's Bird Sunrise, who is leaving eggs. All right. Anyway, moving over here. We've got our Rexes, our Reed and Carol. And again, Carol, I like to pick up her eggs from time to time, but I don't really use the Rexes for anything, so they're kind of back here. Hopper, don't use Hopper at all. I mean, that was kind of a tame the kangaroo, because the kangaroo's available sort of animal, so we tamed Hopper. Now, I don't really use our Scorps anymore, but I can't really get rid of them because I like them too much, and they're just kind of cool. So I just left them over here. They're in range of the troughs, as is Hopper. You can barely see because Hopper is brown. There you go. You can kind of see the trough above Hopper. And all our small guys are in there, of course. And like I showed you, we've got our whole egg-laying situation over here. So there we go. There's the dinos. The only dinos missing that I have tamed myself are up at the Eagle's Nest. We've got 4 wolves, and we've got an Anki up there. Smash More. So I think I'll be leaving Smash More there for the foreseeable future, because I use Smash More to collect a whole bunch of stuff up there and bring it down. But I might bring the wolves back down. Anyway, I wanted to show you Jimmy. I was moving Jimmy around, and remember that these guys have a really wide turning radius unless you're sprinting. I'm not sprinting right now. But watch what happens when I do. This is insane. This is faster than my Pteranodon. This is crazy. Jimmy, you're crazy, man. You're crazy. Woohoo, Jimmy. So I don't know, that I might not do a little bit of an adventure sometime soon where I take Jimmy all the way around the island just to see how fast I can do it. All around the beaches. Just to see how fast I can do it. That's pretty cool. His stamina lasts a pretty long time too. So Jimmy is a lot of fun. And get out of my way. Not a fighter, though. Not a fighter. Jimmy's a lover. Jimmy's a runner, not a fighter. There's so much. I've noticed that it takes a while to load the base in. It's just so many structures here now. With the bridge and with the base, and it's just something I have to live with, I guess. So even though I do want a female Gallimimus eventually for Jimmy, right now I'm just going to leave Jimmy right here. If I can turn Jimmy around. These things don't turn well unless you're sprinting. And if I'm sprinting, I can't control him. He's too fast. All right, there you go. That's good enough. You stay there, Jimmy. So that's going to do it for this episode, folks. We're running out of time. I appreciate you checking us out. Thank you very much for continuing to support the channel. And I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.